What's up, y'all? I have been doing a series on how to replicate these Swisted posters. You can get to them by going to swisted.com. Um, I'm going to show you a new technique which, uh, by getting a plugin, is going to save you a lot of time. So we're going to do the blur poster here, and this is dealing with opacity as well. So if you want to download all the files, you can go to bit.ly/swisted-files. And then also you'll want to download Figma if you want to use the exact font I'm using. All right. But another way is to just click on it, right click, copy image. All right, so I'm going to hop over to Figma. I'm going to click new design file. I'm going to paste the blur poster. I'm going to press F for frame, and I'm going to drag from that corner down to that corner, and the image is automatically placed inside the frame. I'm going to duplicate this entire frame just so we have side by side for reference, and I'm going to click frame 1, and then I'm going to lock down the image layer. All right, to create the blur, I'm going to type T, click here, and then type blur. Obviously, it's way too small, so to scale this, you press K on the keyboard, and then you just drag it up. You also notice it's the wrong font, so I'm going to go over here, and if you are using the downloaded version, you can use Bertolt. And I'm going to put, look at this, it actually automatically shows me the alignment, which is pretty cool. So now all I have to do is adjust the font size. So another way we can do this is by doing that. Or we can just press K and drag it until we have the B correct. All right, so there we go. Now I'm going to adjust the line spacing. And the L is lined up, but these are off, so we need to individually kern these. So you're going to double click and then click between the letters, and then drag the spacing for that one. Click between these two, drag the spacing for that one. Okay. So you might notice we have the full opacity blur here, and then it's slightly lighter up top, and then it's slightly darker down bottom. So what we're going to do is change this one to black. I'm going to want to set the background to this blue, and then I want to see how this next part, how the duplicates do. So I'm going to turn off this layer. I'm going to click on the frame. I'm going to click the square here, click the eyedropper, click here. Now I have the same background. So next, what I'm going to do is click on this, and I'm going to option drag up. And what I want to do is change the opacity to 15%. And that actually makes it practically invisible. So let me try 20. And that looks a little better. So what I want to do to get these duplicates to do that without having to manually duplicate it over and over and over is I'm clicking on this layer, press Command or Control/, type plugin, and then go to Find More Plugins. From here, you're going to search for Looper. And I'm choosing Looper Legacy because that seems to actually have more options than just regular Looper. So I'm going to click that, click Run, and I've previously done this, so it already created some duplicates for me. But I realized we need about 35, and all these settings are basically how much it changes each iteration or each duplicate. And what I'm seeing here is that 30 is actually too far apart, so I needed to get a little closer. So what I'm going to do is change that to 10, And that looks like it's not far enough, so I'm gonna just kind of adjust it until we get to about there. All right, and now it looks like the opacity is kind of off, and that's because this is the opacity of our first and then the opacity of our last. So I'm going to change this one to 20, and then change this one. Let's make this one also 20. That looks pretty close. I'm going to say good enough. Maybe I'll make this even higher, like 30. And then maybe make this one lower, like 10. Sorry. Oh yeah. I'm gonna call that good enough. All right, so that's that. Lastly, I'm just gonna go and duplicate this text part. So I'm gonna close this up. I'm gonna turn the image back on. And then I'm going to take the word blur, copy it up here, press K, shrink it down. I'm going to change this to Saturday. Press K, shrink it down. Move this into place. Adjust the size as close as I can get it. Okay. Hold Option or Alt, drag down. And then we're just going to run through the process again of replicating all the smaller text. This last part I didn't know how to get a pound symbol, so I just used a capital L. Let's turn this layer off, and now let's compare them side by side. Pretty close, pretty close. You could do some like slight adjustments if you want, but I'm going to call that good enough. Hope you enjoyed the video.